ChefLive. I'm here with my wonderful friend, Luciano Pellegrini. How you doing, Luch?
I'm doing great, Bob. How are you?
I am wonderful as usual. So what are we doing today, my
Well,
friend?
today actually I have a good friend here, Thomas. Thomas is the pastry chef at Paris.
All right, Paris, my hometown, no?
I thought you were from Lyon.
Actually, I'm from Brie.
Brie.
Brie. Interesting.
And what are you going to do for us today,
Okay,
Thomas?
today, Chef and Chef Bob, what I'm going to prepare is an apple streusel. It's an interpretation of the traditional apple streusel, where in Austria they rolled the dough out of the whole bench, put the apples and rolled the whole dough together and baked it off with butter and graham cracker. So this is my interpretation of that. Okay, so I'll get started here. First I have the filo pastry.
Now, filo pastry. Now, what exactly is filo?
It's a Greek pastry. It's very, very thin, as you can see.
Yeah.
Especially here in Las Vegas, it dries out very fast. So
yeah, you have to work real quick, right?
Exactly, yeah. What I'm going to do, this is the component, the bread side pastry component of the actual filo. It's powdered sugar.
Okay. So what is filo dough made of? Is it just water and flour?
Filo dough is a basic bread dough. It has no yeast in it.
Right.
This is actually manufactured.
Right.
When you do a traditional streusel, apple streusel, you'd use a dough with no yeast in it. So just a very flat dough.
Excellent.
Almost like a lavash. You know, like make a thin lavash in your restaurant? You do the same thing with apple streusels.
Like the Sardinian bread.
Exactly, like a flatbread.
Carta musica.
Yeah. So it's that's the type of filo pastry. What I'm doing is brushing it nice.
And what does the butter do to the filo?
The butter helps caramelize the sugar, and when I put it together with the filo pastry, it bakes up nice and crunchy and golden. So the butter also is for the flavor too.
Got it. And does powdered sugar make it better than regular sugar?
Oh, definitely. Powdered sugar is much thinner and much finer. Confectioner sugar. Right. You couldn't put granulated sugar on it because it would still be crystallized in the oven. You have grains. So this powdered sugar, it just
dissolves.
Exactly. And see what I'm doing now is layering it. So we'll have a nice and crunchy 3-layer filo with the sugar.
So just 3 layers.
Yeah, we bake it at a really high temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
For how long?
Until it's golden brown.
Okay. So just look at the color?
Exactly. For me, you can always put a time on what you do, but it's based on, as professional, just checking the oven when the product's done.
You know,
ovens are different all over the place. So.
Yeah, my oven might be different than yours, might be different than yours.
Exactly. So here we have the filo.
So you did say a 3-layer filo, but you put 4 filo things, so
it's a 3 layers
of filo. So 3 or 4?
Exactly. It's 4 layers of filo.
Ah, see, it's tricking you.
Exactly. You got me.
So 3 or 4? Depends, okay. So you basically made it flat and made sure that you got it all nice. You got all the air out, no air pockets?
Yep.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm going to use this corner here because we're making for 6 portions as a recipe.
Okay.
So this is almost ready to go. What do I do now? I have the baking mat over here. It's a non-stick baking mat, which you could use baking paper, especially if you're cooking at home. So.
Right. Or if you don't have those things can be a little expensive.
Oh yeah,
did someone preheat the oven?
Bob?
Bob, have you preheated the oven?
No, I'm asking. Should I preheat the oven? No.
Yeah, please, 350.
We asked you earlier, Bob.
Oh, sorry, I'll be right back.
So I'm just cutting these into nice rectangle strips.
Okay.
It's 2 rectangle strips per serving. Now you could do it in any shape you like. This is just what I happen to like.
So you got about a little over 1 inch wide and about 4 inches long.
Exactly. So you know what? I'm going to measure this one so it's exactly the same.
I'm sorry, but what temperature for the oven?
380, Bob. No,
380.
380 or 350?
350.
350.
I mean, you can preheat it to 380, then once you load it, it may drop a little bit.
So you want it 350 now?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm going to have here is some really nice crunchy filo chips, which we're going to layer the Napoleon of apple on. Then we'll start on poaching the apples next.
Right.
You want the top oven or the bottom of oven?
Any oven, Bob.
Okay.
Just get to it. This is an annoying little booger.
Oh yeah.
So is this what you
is-
got on here? Is that for the apple to poach
Yeah,
them?
that's the poaching the apples. So we
Okay.
don't want to boil it. We just want to poach them nicely. So this is ready to go in the oven.
Okay. Would you like me to do the honor?
Absolutely.
So you're gonna put that on top so
Yep.
that
So that they bake nice and flat.
they don't bubble up.
Exactly. So when the sugar caramelizes in between the filler with the butter, you're gonna have a nice crunchy chip.
Oh.
Not something that's a little bit airy. And
Most excellent.
there you go, sir.
I'll do the honors.
Okay. Okay, the next step is the apples. So we just need to peel the apples quickly and prepare the streusel.
I could have helped you with that. I definitely
Okay,
know
absolutely.
I definitely know how to peel an apple.
Okay, chef. So there's the apple here. What I'm going to prepare now is the base for the streusel.
And what exactly is a streusel?
Streusel is an
those,
Austrian dessert, as I know it. We used to make it on the cruise ship by the full rack, and we used to serve it with the vanilla anglaise, toasted almonds, and vanilla ice cream. It was one of the most popular desserts to make. It was a big pain to make, but the taste flavor was beautiful.
Right. So what you have in there?
Okay, so what I have here is butter, sugar, and crushed pecans.
Okay. And that is the base for the streusel.
Exactly. I crushed the pecans up in the RoboCoupe.
Right. What kind of sugar?
Sugar, regular caster sugar. I'm going to put a little, it's a little bit dry there. I'm going to moisten it up with a little bit more butter.
Okay. So ideally what you want to see. So I see that it's a
Little dry.
little crumbly. So you don't want it as crumbly?
No, you want to make it like a...
Paste?
Exactly, so you can roll it out nice and flat. And it's just the
Okay.
butter got a little bit cold, that's all.
So, you know what? I think we need to go to a commercial break. So while you get that nice and moist and I finish peeling this apple, I think we want to take a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to ChefLive. I'm with my favorite chef, Luciano Pellegrini, and his good friend and man, Thomas.
From the Paris.
Oh, he's an
All right,
excellent
Thomas.
chef, no?
So here
Okay,
we
chef.
have the streusel
Now we have
rolled
the
out.
streusel rolled out. It's the simple caster sugar, pecans, and butter. That's it. So we want to bake that off till it's nice and golden brown. And I think the second twill's almost ready to go.
Okay, so we'll
Okay,
just put
chef.
this on here to cool off. So what next?
The next step, okay, for this dessert, what I've made is apple chips. I sliced them on the salamander, very, very thin.
Okay.
So it's probably not so easy at
with
home
the,
to cut
with
by
the
knife.
mandolin or?
Yeah, no, with just a big salamander.
Oh,
I
with
sliced
the
them.
slicer, big slicer.
Yeah, the
okay.
big slices. So see how wafer thin they are?
Okay.
And what I've done with these is soak them in a simple syrup. And a simple syrup is 50-50 water, 50%
Sugar.
So
Right.
what we're going to do these,
Well, you just basically bring the water to a boil,
yep, and add the sugar,
add the sugar,
then
and
turn it off.
and then turn it off.
Yeah. Sometimes we put cinnamon sticks in the simple syrup to get a little bit more flavor, vanilla bean.
But not in this case, or
Not in this case, I just did a
just
simple syrup.
simple syrup.
Yeah, we put
Flavorless.
exactly. Put a lot of vanilla bean into the mascarpone cream. So,
Right.
and it's
So,
just-
but for those folks at home that do not have a big slicer to slice their apple on, what would you suggest? Again, a mandolin would do the
yeah,
job?
the mandolin. Yeah,
Mandolin would do the
Mandolin
job?
would be
But nice and
perfect.
thin.
Nice and thin, because as you see here,
So it's so thin it's almost translucent.
yeah, they're going to dry out very fast in the oven. So we'll put these in the bottom oven. And these bake at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately, you can dry them out at a lower temperature at 150 or 130 for a longer time. But for the show today, I think 200 degrees Fahrenheit,
For how long?
10 to 15 minutes, but we can check them along the way.
Okay, of course.
Yeah.
So do these need to color or no color?
No, it's
Just
gonna be,
dryness.
It's going to be dry. They will, the natural sugars in the apple will caramelize a little bit. So that's the streusel in the top, which looks good. Okay. Would
So
you like to
then-
go with the apples? So,
Oh, I just am good at peeling them.
okay.
Yeah.
What about Bob?
I'll let you cut them. So how are we cutting the apples here? Just
Basically, I'm cutting them in slices, but I'm making sure the slice is the same size
oh, the
as
same
the
width,
base.
the same
Exactly.
width as
so when you have a
the-
nice Napoleon, you have the apples the same size and they're not all over the place. You can do it like that. It'll look nice and rustic, but
Okay.
that's not the look I'm looking for today.
So what about the thickness?
The thickness, they're
About a half-inch thick.
half an inch thick, yeah. And what we'll do, we'll poach those in a nice vanilla cinnamon simple syrup.
Which is also here, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we'll do that right now.
So do I see some lemon seeds in there? Did you put some lemon juice? No?
No, that was from the simple syrup which I had the apples soaking in.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more flavorful. So.
I was gonna seeds.
This
So
is
we
my
have a
favorite
simple,
ingredient.
simple syrup. Oh, that's a vanilla bean, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite ingredient.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. So what you do, you cut them in half, you take the seeds out,
Exactly.
scrape them out,
Yep.
but then you use the whole thing, you put in the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. The flavor profile from the vanilla is you can use in pastries and baking. You can use vanilla in just about everything. It's a very expensive product at the moment.
I agree.
Especially
Now, why do you take the seeds out? Is it just for
to
looks
infuse
or
to infuse
just
the flavor.
the flavor?
Yeah,
To
and
have the flavor get out in the syrup.
exactly. So I'm gonna put one cinnamon. I'll put 2 in there.
2 cinnamon sticks.
Now I got some star anise too, and the star anise is very strong. The reason I put the star anise and the cinnamon stick in there rather than the powder, so when you taste the product, you don't have the powdery taste of the cinnamon in your
Yeah,
mouth.
I hate
so,
that myself.
Yeah, so you can infuse the flavors,
I do
aromatic
this-
flavors.
I do the same thing with herbs. I hate chopping herbs and putting in food. I just put in the whole thing and then I remove them.
Exactly.
Same concept.
It's much more pleasant to eat. So a simmer is just below a boil at 82 degrees. So we have some sugar to go in here.
More sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll poach our apples. I only have a few apples here for 4
Ooh.
portions. That's the oil for our beignets, which is next, so I'll be careful with that.
Okay, so now how long do you poach this for?
We poach the apples for approximately 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay.
And then we want to take them out of the water because they'll continue to cook once they're in the water, so you stop the cooking process.
Okay.
We can actually stop it on an ice bath over there. So,
So those
Let's
are...
see the nice crunchy-
Oh, look at those. So that's the color you want to see, right?
absolutely.
So nice golden brown.
Yep. With the apples, the fresh apples on top, and mascarpone cream is a nice combination.
Okay. So we got the streusel in the oven, we got the apple chips drying out,
Yep,
we
let's
have
turn this up a
our
touch more.
phyllo chips done.
Uh-huh.
Next, we need the
Next
whipped
step
cream.
is the whipping cream.
Okay.
We can make the cream anglaise actually. It's quite a fast process.
Okay.
Maybe we should take the oil off here.
Let me, I'll do that.
Yeah, we just put it there so. So, for cream anglaise,
How about you use the
Exactly.
one of that.
my favorite ingredient is the vanilla.
Okay, so again, cut in half and scrape.
Yep. Do the vanilla. Now the cream anglaise is very delicate. The temperature has to be absolutely perfect. 82 degrees Celsius. Any higher, we're going to get scrambled eggs.
Oh,
That's not what we want today. So in here I have a 50% milk, 50% cream, 32% fat in the cream. So it's a nice rich cream anglaise.
So it's half and half.
Yeah, half and half. Scrape the vanilla bean in there so it can infuse nicely.
Now, what are these vanilla beans from?
These vanilla beans are from a local supplier. I'm not exactly sure where they're from.
Tahitian.
No, I don't think they're Tahitian. They're maybe the Madagascar vanilla bean.
Madagascar.
They're actually a little bit smaller. The best ones I have are from Tahiti, Madagascar, and
Right.
Mexico. They have beautiful vanilla beans down there on the
Okay.
peninsula Yucatan. So.
So we bring our cream to a boil, or do you
Yep.
want a slow heat?
No, we just bring it on a slow heat, put the sugar in, and we have the egg yolks to make the cream anglaise.
Okay. So I guess
what we'll do, we'll temper the egg yolks in once it comes up, because it's such a small mix, it's going to cook very, very fast. So basically, as soon as you put the egg yolks in, we need to stop it on the ice bath and strain it, then we'll have our cream anglaise.
good. So I guess while we wait for the cream to get to temperature, the apples to poach, and everything else to get ready, we can take a commercial break.
Sounds great.
And if you missed any of these steps, make sure to go to cheflive.com to catch any of the actions you might have missed. See you later.
We'll
Bob,
be right back,
Bye.
no?
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Chef Live. We've got Luciano Pellegrini and our wonderful pastry chef of the day, Thomas. How are you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing very well. At the moment now, we're right at the point where the apples are poached.
Okay.
We're ready
Now
to make the
we,
cream
we
anglaise.
actually took our phyllo out,
Yeah, taste
nice
these.
and crisp. Oh, I get to taste
See,
it.
they're
too.
nice. The sugar's nicely caramelized.
Oh, you're
Very
so
nice.
nice.
Oh, look at that.
It's nice
Just
and
snaps in half.
crunchy. You can go through with your spoon very fast. Not a
Beautiful.
problem.
And
Oh.
this is the
This is a streusel. It came out baked on the mat. So then it's cut it into small rectangles, approximately
same shape as the filo.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the apples are poached and ready to go. What I'll do here is I'll put them onto some. Actually, I'll put them straight onto the mat on the other side over here.
Oh. I'll check the apple chips.
Thank you.
Looking good.
A little bit longer.
Yep, a little bit longer.
We're trying to speed up the process there, but the apple chips they need to dry out in the oven.
So chances are we should have put them in the oven first thing we started out, right?
Yeah. So we have the nicely poached apples here.
Yeah. So those black packs there, that's the vanilla seeds,
That's the
right?
vanilla, which gives a lot of flavor. And if you taste it,
beautiful. They're not too sweet at all.
no, you can taste the cinnamon, you can taste the star anise, but it's not powder in your mouth. It's very refreshing.
Wow, it was beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, we actually need to tell everybody we also whipped our cream.
Yeah, we whipped the mascarpone cream, which was 30% mascarpone cream with a small amount of sugar, just for the sweetness.
So you want me to put that
Just
one
a small
there?
amount.
So that is just egg yolks?
This is the egg yolks. That's enough. What you want to do, you want to temper your egg yolks in.
Okay.
You can put it back onto the stove.
Okay.
And because it's such a small mix, it's going to come to temperature very fast. Very fast. I'm just going to do it by eyes.
So
You
an
sure
ideal-
can smell that vanilla bean, no?
Yeah.
Right.
We're making the creme anglaise here. Basically, you want to take it to 82 degrees Celsius because it's such a small mix. It's almost now.
Right.
It's
Or
almost there.
The trick is actually not because the back of a spoon, then it's
Exactly.
ready, right?
I mean, you can see there.
It's already cooked.
I don't want to go any further than that because it's such a small recipe.
Right.
It comes to temperature straight away.
Right,
Once
right.
it's boiling, the temperature of the egg yolks doesn't really bring the cream down at all.
Right.
When you have a big mix of 10 or 15 liters, you need to watch the temperature and cook it up to the correct temperature,
Right,
up to
right.
82. But
Makes a
I know this is really spot on 82. So I'm just continuing. It's off the heat, but it's still cooking because the
Right.
heat is still in the pot. So I'll just keep working. See how it's getting nice, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more thicker? You wouldn't want to put this on the heat again, otherwise the eggs will cook on the bottom.
Right.
So
And they would become like curdly, like scrambled eggs.
scrambled
That's
eggs,
it.
exactly.
Right.
And
Omelette du fromage.
totally defeat the purpose. So the creme anglaise which I made here, this is the base for all the ice creams which I make too.
Okay.
Chocolate ice cream, coffee ice cream, vanilla ice cream from a traditional French creme anglaise base. It's really nice and rich, vanilla bean. So what I'll do is this, I'll chill it on the ice bath.
There you go. So just put it back in the same bowl.
The egg yolks are all pasteurized. So what I'm doing now is stopping the cooking process of the creme anglaise.
So a nice bath basically is water and ice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll check those chips for
Oh,
you.
please.
How they looking, Luch?
I
they're
think
looking
we're there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just let them cool off on the marble.
So what was it? About 10 minutes, no?
No, actually, I think probably 20.
Yeah.
Well, take a little
So
while.
we definitely would recommend to do the apple chips as your first step of the recipe.
Okay, so now we can come to the assembly part. We need to cool the creme anglaise down a little bit more here.
All right,
But what I'll start doing while I put the recipe together. So we have the poached apples.
right.
We have our plate here. What I'm going to do is this is the streusel base. This is the crunchy component.
Okay.
With the apples, I'll layer them nicely on top of the streusel. And all the components are nicely, freshly baked.
So which of these steps that you did today could you perhaps do beforehand, maybe the day before or a few hours before? You could poach the apple, for instance, right?
Yeah, you could poach the apples and hold them in your cooler.
Or you could do the apple chips.
Apple chips, you could do the streusel.
Oh,
But
look at
actually, you could make
Perfect.
the streusel, but don't bake it.
Okay.
So it doesn't. Once it's baked, it takes the taste of the cooler if it's not wrapped correctly. So
Okay.
you could just make the dough and then bake it off fresh as you need it, a la minute.
Can you freeze it?
Yeah, you can freeze it. It doesn't affect the product at all. So here we have our nice apples. What I'm going to do now is put a little bit of sugar on the top.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Fire!
Lots of love in this recipe. So just caramelize some sugar on the apple.
So it's nice and crunchy.
Okay.
Now we take our nice chips,
Right there.
which we layer on the top.
And I'll get the cream out for you.
Yeah, we need to, because the mascarpone cream, the cream is very delicate. If it's over whipped, it separates. So
Right.
it just needs to be once you put it in the bowl, it just needs to be combined with the whipping cream.
Right.
Any more mixing and
it just
the mascarpone is very fragile. I can't actually put the mascarpone on now because it's still warm.
Okay.
So we'll just let it cool down a little bit to room temperature, then it'll be ready to go. We've got the cream anglaise over here, which is cooling down nicely in the ice bath. Okay, I just need a hot spoon.
Just use the same.
Yeah, I just need to warm the spoon up a little bit, that's all. Mascarpone cream.
Oh, look how
Second
beautiful.
crunchy component. I'm going to heat up the spoon just a little bit more. Another layer of mascarpone cream on the top.
So the hot spoon will actually aid you in forming the canal, right?
Exactly.
And that is what that is, canal shaped.
Yep. Now the apple chip on the top with your mascarpone cream.
Oh, look at that.
So it's a nice assembly dessert with the cream anglaise. Now the cream anglaise is still warm, obviously, but there we go.
Wow, look at
That
that.
is so
That's
pretty.
an excellent job, Thomas. Makes my mouth water.
Now the cream anglaise is still a little bit warm and the components are warm, but to eat it now is a really nice experience. So that's what we're looking for with the guests.
Two ways of doing it. Either warm or get prepared, then you can have it chilled. That is all for today. There's a great dessert. I think we got to get going, and we'll catch you next time on ChefLive. Again, if you missed any of the steps today, go to cheflive.com and seek out Chef Thomas and his wonderful
Apple streusel. Interpretation of apple streusel.
Bon appetit!
Bon appetit!
One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. Please, Mr. Bartender, listen